right, this is Jeff Zimmerman here with super lightweight sensation. Kenneth Sims Jr. has a big fight coming up this Saturday in Vegas on the Showtime boxing card against Botirzhon Akhmedov. How you doing, Kenneth?
I'm good. Feeling great.
Hey, man, last time I spoke to you in December, we kind of talked about your kind of steady rise. You had some early losses, and now you're right there on one of the biggest cards in boxing. Raleigh Romero fighting for a vacant title. How does it feel to be on this card? And one step away, you're in a title eliminator from a world title shot.
It feels great. This is what I've been waiting on for the last couple of years. Ever since the Elvis Rodriguez win, I've been waiting on something like this. So I stayed busy, stayed in the gym, stayed working till the opportunity presented itself, and now it's here, and I'm ready to take advantage of it.
Yeah, where were you when you got the news that because Albert Puello was the champion, right? WBA 140-pound champion, but failed the VADA test, and I guess lost the title. Is that what happened? And then Raleigh Romero.
I'm not even sure. I don't know because I've been seeing a whole bunch of stuff about if he's stripped or if he's not. So I don't know yet.
Yeah, but you do know you're fighting for a world title eliminator.
Yeah, I know that. I know that. So
Yeah.
hopefully after that, whoever has the title at the end of the day, hopefully I can get that next after I take care of Saturday.
Yeah, and you're fighting a guy, man. Only 9 fights from Ukraine, southpaw. 2 losses though against Puello and Barrios, but 8 knockouts in those 9 fights. What does he bring to the table? He's a southpaw. Obviously has some power. What concerns you, if anything?
I won't necessarily say concerns me. I just think it's good to acknowledge your opponent's strengths. So he has a good motor and he's aggressive. He likes to he goes to the body a lot. But I think the main thing with him is his aggression. And a lot of guys, they wilt under that aggression. So I think his knockouts are really like an accumulation thing. So, but that's what I see when I watch him. He's aggressive and he likes to fight. He's gonna come forward and try to make it a ugly fight.
Yeah, and when we talked in December before your last fight, you talked about your style actually being more aggressive coming forward. That maybe people were kind of sleeping on that.
Yeah,
a little bit. Can this be a potential firefight?
I mean, it can. That's not my idea of it, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes to win. If that's what I need to do, then that's what's gonna happen. But I won't go too much into it. But I got plan A, plan B, plan C for anything he brings. I'm just ready to counter.
Yeah, and this is a 12-rounder. And correct me if I'm wrong. You've only fought 8 rounds. Have you been to 10, or have you been to 10?
No, I had scheduled 10, but it stopped the guy. But this is my first 12 round. I'm not really. I mean, really, the thought hasn't even crossed my mind because I'm prepared. I had a great training camp. Put in a lot of rounds sparring. Had strength and conditioning. So I'm not really too concerned about the 12-round distance because I mean, this is where I want to be. So.
Yeah. If you're fighting for title fights, right, you gotta be ready for 12 rounds. So I know last time we spoke, nutrition has played a heavy role in kind of that resurgence. And I think, like we talked about, you kind of caught it early, right? I remember we talked about Spence a little bit. As you know, I've covered him in Dallas, and you had visited him last time. He just did an interview with his girlfriend. I don't know if you had a chance to see it. But
yeah, I didn't finish it. I started it yesterday, actually.
yeah, it's a long one, but it's a really good one. But he talks about nutrition and finally hiring a nutritionist. I mean, you said you've seen the difference mentally and physically. Does that also help when you jump to those 12-round fights?
Oh, for sure. I think because I think the body needs fuel, and the nutritionists they know what the right type of fuel is. So when it gets down to it, and maybe when you if you didn't eat the right thing or you didn't drink the right thing or you didn't drink enough water late in them later rounds, it'll start to show. But I think me having perfecting athletes, that makes a huge difference. Because even my last couple of fights, even though not the last couple of, but the fights before that, I got the 2 stoppages, the ones that went 8 rounds. I felt great in that 8th round. Like I could have went on 8 more rounds. So
Yeah, so you're seeing the difference, and I would imagine as each fight goes on, you're probably getting even better, or
yeah,
just more comfortable.
yeah, for sure. Because like right about now, uh, during fight week, close to weigh-ins, I would be like my mood wouldn't be as good before I started working with them. My mood wouldn't be as good. I wouldn't have much energy. But right now I feel great, and it's been that way the last 4 or 5 fights.
Yeah, and you mentioned Akhmedov likes to go to the body. We talked about the stack weight class you're in, 130, 140. I don't even want to go through the names because there's too many to mention. But there was a fight recently. We talked about that, Tank and Ryan. You picked Tank by knockout.
Yeah.
On a body shot. What were your thoughts on that fight?
I was at the fight. It was a good shot. I don't know. I've never been hit with one of those, so I can't even tell you how it feels. I've hit someone with those. I stop people with body shots like that. So I won't say he quit. I won't say he faked it, but I just really don't have any. Like I know body shots hurt, so I can't say that he quit, and Tank can punch. So it might have just been a case of him getting caught with the right shot. He looked like he could have maybe gotten up, but I don't know if he didn't get up for his safety or he just didn't get up because he couldn't. So I don't really know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, either way, but the 2 guys that could be a potential future opponent for you.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you like to fight one of those guys?
They 2 of the biggest names in the sport, so I'm down with it. I'm with whatever. I really, at this point in my career, I'm willing to fight anybody that'll move me up the ladder of being a star in the sport or just getting to that championship. So anybody in my way, I'm willing to take down.
Yeah, and what was the atmosphere like at that fight? Being there and just, the biggest fight in boxing,
Yeah.
in a long time.
Yeah, it was good. It was nice to see like you see all the celebrities and stuff at the basketball games and stuff. So it was nice because I was right on the floor right there. So it was good to see like all the rappers, football players, NBA players like at a boxing event, to know like everybody say boxing dying. They've been saying that for 30 million years, and it's just good to see like the world come out to see a fight.
Yeah, boxing's dying, but Nate Diaz and Jay
Yeah.
Wall just were in Dallas yesterday hosting a press conference in what will be another big fight in boxing.
Excuse me.
No, you're good. Are you good with these guys like the Nate Diaz of the world, the Anthony Pettis's kind of making their foray? They speak highly of boxing. They have boxing backgrounds, especially Nate Diaz and
Yeah,
with your buddy Andre Ward.
I never really had a problem with it. I think it's just a matter of like even the Jake Paul thing. I never really was against that. It's just a matter of its own. I feel like it's its own entity, I guess. Like I don't really compare that to what I do. I don't really compare that to world title level boxing. So it's good for what it is. It's entertaining. And it brings more eyes to the sport, even if I look at it as a separate thing. People, they got huge followings, so people want to follow them. So them boxing, people may follow other boxing just because they're doing it. So I never really had a problem with any of the YouTube boxing or any of that.
Yeah, and I think we would both agree, excuse me, Jake Paul is taking the sport seriously. He's got Sugar Shane Mosley back in his corner. So he seems like he's one of those guys that is just not doing this part-time, which is interesting. But, to your point, bringing exposure like Heather Hardy and Amanda Serrano is going to be the co-main event. So it's going to be full of traditional boxers on the card as well. So good for them. We were talking about Spence and Crawford last time, and I know Crawford is a big brother to you. You're tight with, you're cool with Spence too. But that fight, those two guys are talking one-on-one. I'm sure you probably caught that part of the interview, hopefully. But seems like that fight's closer than ever. How excited, I'm not asking for a prediction, but how excited, for that fight to hopefully finally happen here in the next few months?
I'm excited about it. It's two of the best guys in the sport, and I think that's what boxing needs to keep it going, to keep growing. I think the best need to fight the best, and those are the two best. So I think that'll bring more eyes to the sport, just like the Ryan Garcia and Tank Davis fight did. It'll probably be around the same magnitude.
Yeah, you talk about the best fighting the best, and it seems like, going back to Ryan Tank, those guys made that fight happen. I mean, it was really kind of the fighters taking, maybe Ryan more so, but really driving to make that fight happen. And now you've got Devin and Loma coming up. Do you sense it amongst, guys like yourself, your peers, that, they're kind of tired of maybe having these 1 or 2 fights a year, that the best will now start fighting the best? Do you sense it within the boxing community?
Yeah, I think the young guys, that's what they want. I think it's I won't say the older guys, they didn't want that, but maybe they didn't know the power they had, I guess. Like Ryan, he made that fight happen. Like the teams obviously got everything together to make it happen, but he made that like come to fruition. So I think just the young guys, they probably just noticing if they want something done, they can get it done.
Yeah. So fighters, I mean, they know Ryan drove that fight. I mean, he pushed for that fight, and like you said, made it happen. I'm here with Kenneth Sims. Got a big fight this Saturday. Maybe won't be as big as Ryan and Tank, but in Vegas, on the Showtime card, great exposure under Rolly Romero, who's become one of the most exciting fighters in boxing, and kind of promoted himself in a lot of ways to
Yeah,
get to where he is. How cool is that?
no, it's cool. It's good. It's good to see. Like a lot of people. I mean, a lot of people don't like Rolly. I don't know him personally. Never had a conversation with him, but what he doing is working, obviously. So
Yeah. The marketing side of him is definitely working. We kind of mentioned Andre Ward earlier. You posted on Instagram, I think in early April, stop by your camp.
yeah,
Obviously a lot of respect for him.
yeah. I
Hall of
talked to
Famer.
him. He messaged me earlier today, actually.
Yeah, I mean, what is it like to have a guy like Andre in your corner, to whether it's for advice or just, he's done it all, Olympic gold medalist,
Mm.
undefeated world champion, Hall of Famer. I mean, the list goes on. But what's it like having that relationship to go to?
It's great. Just because ever since, well, since my pro debut, he was at my pro debut. He came to my pro debut. But even before that, like we didn't really know each other. But I just remember vividly my first year at the men's nationals. He was there, and he had just came and he talked to everybody. But after that was over, he like sat and talked with me and my dad for about 30, 40 minutes. But ever since then, it's always support. Like even when I didn't have anything set and I didn't know what I was doing with boxing, I didn't know how I was going to go. I could always still, if like say if I got offered a fight or something and I didn't know if it made sense for me to do that or if it was in the wrong weight class or whatever, I could always just call him and text him, and he pretty much just reassured me, like, be patient, don't rush into something that don't make sense for you. And he always like told me how much he believed in my talent and how good I was as a fighter. So that's reassuring hearing that from somebody that's a Hall of Famer. So that's just going to skyrocket my confidence and skyrocket my own belief in my own ability. So.
Yeah, no doubt. When he comes, like when he came in April to your camp, do you guys get in the ring, not sparring or anything, but just like work on stuff or techniques, or is it more just talking and more conversation?
Nah, it was just then it was just talking because he was here for the fight and doing some press for his documentary that's coming out. So it was just like I didn't even know he was coming. He had just texted me, asked what time I was working out that day, and I told him, and then he just came.
Yeah, no, that was cool, and you can't have a better person in your corner than Andre Ward. But again, big fight coming up, Kenneth Sims. What should we expect on Saturday night? This is a world title eliminator. I know you've been scratching and clawing and trying to get to the top, and you're just on the precipice of getting that title shot. What should we expect Saturday night?
You should expect the best me you've ever seen. Expect new things from me. Expect things you've never seen me do. Expect stronger me, smarter me, faster me. It's just I'm in a different zone now, so I just think you should expect. This is my I guess this is the saying people say is a coming out party. That's what I feel like this is because Akhmedov is clearly one of the best in the division, so. I think if I dominate that fight, everybody will finally see, like, okay, Kenneth Sims is the real deal.
Yeah, and hopefully when you do that, hopefully you don't become the boogeyman and then soon avoid it, right?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope I can get away from that.
Yeah. Well, Kenneth, man, it's great to talk to you again. Thanks for your patience at the beginning, but looking forward to it, man. Showtime Boxing, you can't get much bigger than that. On the Raleigh Romero card in Vegas. Best of luck. We'll be watching, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.